Alrighty, well, hello, sinners.
You're doing great, King. You got this.
Alrighty, well, hello, sinners. How are you doing? And welcome to day 6 of the 12 days of Sinmas.
Merry Sinmas to the sinners at home.
All you sinners at home with all your sinning, I see you.
We see you.
We see you when you're sleeping. No.
He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been sinning or not, so you better sin for goodness sake.
Right, we encourage sinning here.
We do. So we've made it to the halfway mark of the 12 days of Sinmas. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's been an amazing celebration.
Yeah, I've been having fun too. That felt like part of a kid's show where like you're waiting for the response and you're like, wow, I had fun too.
I wasn't even aware that we were halfway through Sinmas, but I was enjoying it.
Me neither. These are all being filmed out of order.
Leave a comment below on how you're enjoying Sinmas.
Please
Call
do.
to action. I better see like buttons.
Show us your like buttons.
Prove to us that you're liking these.
Give us validation, please. We're very fragile people.
We need it. Yeah.
Why do you think we're YouTubers?
Every like button is a boost in my already inflated ego.
Every like is a milligram down in my antidepressant prescription.
There you go. And that's on you guys.
Yeah.
No, too much.
Oh, yeah. We might get canceled for that.
We're on the line, people. Let's keep liking.
So, to celebrate the halfway mark of the 12 days of Sinmas, what would you like to give my sinners at home on day 6 today?
Well, I have been thinking a lot about it, and you know what? There is nothing more in the Christmas spirit than hitting the gym. So I gift to you Jimble Bells.
Yeah.
Sound effect. Jingle bells. I have to make sure it lands. Thank you. Merry Sinmas.
Merry Sinmas, everyone. Speaking of the gym, today we're going to be talking about our favorite gym bro, Elliott Hulse. Now, we have both talked about Elliott Hulse in the past. Overall, what are your thoughts on him?
I think if you're gonna pick a favorite gym bro, Elliott is gonna be the most captivating because, oh my goodness, he's built like a tank, he's huge, and just has 1,000 wrong opinions.
For sure.
I can't think of a better present to unwrap here today.
He has every quality of an alpha male. Like when you look up alpha male in the dictionary, his face is there. And when you look up beta, Sneeko is there. So for all of those who are not in the Elliott Hulse cinematic universe, before Elliott started making terrifying red pill content, he was actually strictly only a gym bro. He made a lot of fitness content, a lot of strength training content. I think he still does that now, but his main focus is more of the red pill content that we know and love.
Right. And gym content can go overboard very easily, but there's nothing wrong with like promoting health, like fitness. I think if he had just stayed on that road, we would not be here today.
Yeah.
But we are.
We are.
He did and we are.
I've actually seen on a lot of forums that, like, some of his clients have like stopped following him because of his outlandish opinions, to say the least.
Clients will do that, yeah.
He's really made a bit of a downfall over the past few years.
Wow. If only there was something we could figure out that was causing this downfall.
Yeah.
That's a pickle.
People just hate free speech.
I think that's it. That's the easy answer. That's what we're going with.
Thinking is illegal nowadays. People hate when others have wrong opinions.
So true.
That's it.
It's them who are wrong.
It's just us and the woke mob who are pro-censorship. You know, we don't want to see an alpha bro winning.
No, absolutely not.
No, we're just two betas. Do you consider yourself a beta?
I consider myself the strongest beta. I'm an alpha beta, if you will. I crush it out there in terms of being a beta.
You're killing it. We're going to push our differences aside with Elliott today, and we're going to look at some throwback content from him. Now, I think he deleted this from his channel or wherever this was posted.
That's a promising sign.
But it has been reposted many, many times and reacted to many times because
everything on the internet is forever. So
this is true.
He's got to live with that, I suppose.
We are all single-handedly fucking up our digital footprints right now.
Oh yeah, everyone here.
Because you also use your legal name on YouTube.
No, you can't decode my legal name. It's a username.
Of course,
right.
Yeah.
I could be anybody. Let's put that out there, okay?
You could be Elliott Hulse in a Kuncan Dastner mask, sorry.
Oh no, both of my identities have been revealed.
No! video?
Oh, it's a sinmas disaster.
I'm doxing you. I'm so sorry. That's my gift to you.
Thank you.
So the original video is called Bioenergetic Catharsis. What do you think that could possibly mean?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and assume, and I am just assuming here, that it's going to be crazy. But in terms of content, I think it's about him coming to terms with, you know, the natural state of an alpha male, which is harnessing energy, bio ways of, I have no idea. I can't piece this together.
You were close. As you can tell, he is very intense in this first frame here.
That is a stern face he's got, yeah.
I've actually only watched bits and pieces of it. I wanted to also have this be an organic reaction.
Yes, a bio-organic, energetic reaction.
Catharsis reaction, energetically.
Of course, why not?
And this is old. This is at least a 7-year-old video, so...
Okay.
We're watching a young Elliott here.
But he seems pretty determined in what he's about to say, so...
Yeah. If anything, he's steadfast in his beliefs, even to this day, and you have to respect it.
You have to, yes.
We have to.
We have to.
We have to respect free speech.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's about to be very free with his speech.
I fear he is. So I think without any further ado, shall we watch?
You know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Are you depressed? Mm-hmm. You find that you become depressed sometimes?
Do you find that you've become depressed sometimes?
He asked the same thing twice. If I'm depressed, I do find that I get depressed sometimes. We've covered every option.
Yeah. He's really coming for us.
Yes, he is. But he's about to solve it, so, you know.
I hope so.
I'm eager to listen.
What a twist of events that would be if Elliott Hulse cures our mental illness.
Right. We start the video being like, what's this crazy guy saying? But then we, like, grow as people. We're like, oh.
Ew, we can't have that.
He's like, have an open communication with the people in your life. And we're like, oh.
Like, no, we want to shit on some alpha bros today. We don't need life lessons right now.
Right. This isn't gonna be a good video.
Boo. Don't say anything meaningful.
Do you find that you're depressing your energy? Do you find that everything that you know you are on the inside, sexual and sexy and hungry and happy and angry?
He got me with the angry. He lost me a little bit with the energy and like the sexual eminence. But like once he went back to angry, I was like, all right, now we're back.
Now we're back.
Right. Anger, I know.
We know anger. I mean, he's definitely harboring sexual and sexy energy in this screen grab right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyone with a chest that red, I think, is really feeling it.
Yeah, he's feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. Meme reference.
He's starting to turn the color of Mr. Krabs, so yeah.
Yeah, he really is. Do you think he's natty? That's a gym bro term that I learned.
Oh, wow. You're ahead of me. I don't know what that means.
It's basically the opposite of like a buff bro who takes like steroids. So like the Liver King, for example, he is not natty. Apparently he takes like 12K a month worth of...
Natty as in natural?
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear about the Liver King.
Yes.
Getting dethroned by that news.
Yeah, they're gonna throw him in the dungeons now of the Liver Kingdom.
From riches to rags.
And sad. All those things don't count. They don't matter. You've got to put them away so you depress them. I've told you before that you've got to express. That's the only way to break the depression pattern, because I get depressed. In fact, I've been depressed for the past several days.
Is this a cry for help?
You know
Elliott,
what?
babe, blink twice if you need help.
This could have been a very normal, like, hey guys, I've been feeling a little down recently. Just wanted to, you know, be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
But no, he's channeling it into something that I feel will not be helpful to us or him. Mm-mm. Also, we can't control like our recording quality, but like there is a bird outside just going nuts during this recording.
In fact,
I don't know if you can hear that, but something's squawking.
I wasn't looking out for it, but now I will. I don't doubt you. I'm not gaslighting you. But
I think whatever garage this is next to a tree housing a bird who is screaming.
Like a bird sanctuary or something.
Right. A perfect place to film.
Yeah, it's great for audio, like just to be around a bunch of noise.
Crisp, clean audio, you know, unfiltered. No problems.
Just some nice atmospheric energy to make us feel like we're really there with him. We're really there in his garage watching this.
Who wouldn't want to be here?
Oh, yeah. He's just dripping in sweat. Like, to be a fly on that wall.
Right. To be a fly on that yellow, white, like stained wall. I don't know. I don't know about his location choice.
The smell must go crazy in there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what's more masculine than never cleaning your garage?
But he's an alpha, though. We can't expect him to have hygiene. That's gay. Are you gay?
Yeah. Cleaning's for women, or so I'm told.
Why am I not in the kitchen cleaning a sandwich right now?
I've made the mop.
Why am I not letting my husband film this video?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Consider me pilled. I'm into this. I think consider me pilled is gonna haunt me. I don't like saying that.
I want that on a t-shirt, on like a nice button. I want to sew that into a pillow.
Oh.
That's gonna be the quote of the video, I can guarantee you right now.
Just responding to like every like conservative like dark web kind of video like this with like, boy, I was unsure before, but you sold me. Consider me pilled.
Duncan,
like
you're a gem.
Character.
Such a beautiful way with words. Consider all of us pilled.
I've been teaching workshops. I've been building businesses and watching children and doing all the shit that I have to do.
Do you want this guy watching your children, Duncan?
I don't even know if I want him building my business, let alone watching my children.
I wouldn't trust him near my squishmallows.
Yeah, he's got some kind of energy that tells me that I can't, trust him.
Yeah. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something just doesn't feel right here. The vibe isn't right. I don't claim the energy from Elliott Hulse.
I'll call it out when I figure it out, but something's off.
Never letting out all the sexual synergy and hunger and anger and frustration and yelling and eating and breathing. Attend me.
Me when I take my bra off.
Because I'm sucking the sexual energy in. I don't want to train. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to fucking do anything because it's become a neurotic holding pattern. Because depression is a holding pattern. You're holding yourself depressed.
Do we need a...
We're both trying to spam the pause button. We keep starting it and stopping it.
He said, you're going to watch this and you're going to like it.
Okay, all right. A lot just happened.
I love ASMR.
Yeah, I go to sleep with this sound. It's great.
I heard the saliva slushing in his mouth.
Oh.
I heard his pecs just very, very loud. I like boobs, but this is a little much.
Of course not. That's not alpha.
With peace and love.
I mean, okay, if you are feeling down, expressing it some way, right? Finding a way to vent, there's something there. I don't fully understand this method of jumping up and down and screaming on camera, but look at him. It seems to be working. He looks great.
Yeah, his chest is a little redder. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm worried that as the video progresses, he will get deeper and deeper shades of red.
He'll just turn into Joe Rogan, like in that one photo of him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I unfortunately know exactly. I'm picturing it in my mind right now.
I feel like we're intruding on a moment. Like he is at the very tippy top of going down a mental spiral, and I feel like we shouldn't be watching. This feels intimate.
This should be, minimized down to a calm sentence and maybe told to a friend or a loved one. It definitely feels like we were not invited here, and it's like a bad time that we've intruded in on.
2014 Elliott, clearly going through it, but I don't think the internet should also be involved in this.
Yeah, I think there's a reason this wasn't a great look for anybody involved.
Yeah.
But it was on the internet once, which means it's going to be here forever. That's the World Wide Web for you.
Yeah, and I've seen also many people react to this as well. So, like, not only is it on this channel, it's also on other big channels, so...
That's the thing, right? Like, it only takes a few people to see it, and then all of a sudden millions of people have seen it. And wow, that's probably not very cathartic, even in a bioenergetic way.
Yeah.
Which I still don't know what that means.
I think we're still waiting to hear what bioenergetic catharsis actually is. Like, I know we're YouTubers, but like we're also not that dumb.
Right. Like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
Myself speaking. I just went down to 2 out of 10.
I think Consider Me Pilled brought you to an 8 out of 10.
I'm holding in the energy. You've got to express. I've told you this before, but you've got to express. That's how you get out of depression. It begins with the breath. You gotta breathe. Breathing brings energy into the body, brings vitality, vibration back into a dead fucking body. Because your body's not doing anything, because your brain's doing it all. You're all trapped in your goddamn head, and you gotta wake the body back up.
Is your body awake now, Duncan?
I feel pretty awake. Usually, I think the body and the brain should be awake at the same time. I don't think it's a either or situation.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's onto something with the depress and express. That's, I mean, he figured that out really quick. Those are, you know, words that sound alike.
He certainly said words.
Words were said.
He has said sentences, many sentences.
I
Yeah.
want to talk to someone who, like, got something out of this video. And I want to be like, at what point, like, did he win you over? Because, like, a third of what like he's trying to say is probably rooted in something, but then there's a pretty big 2/3 that's just drowning it in whatever red energy he's got going on.
I think anything he's trying to say is overshadowed by the excessive screaming and loud energy of his. Like, I can't concentrate on anything except his red titties over here. When you take the red pill, do you actually turn red?
I don't know. And like, does it start there, like from the throat down? Is that when it starts taking effect?
Yeah, from the throat chakra.
I gotta say, if there was a red pill that turned you red, I would have taken it, because that sounds funny. If I just show up to work, just beat red.
I would love to be like a blue pill. If I took the blue pill, like, would you turn into Violet from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Oh man, imagine taking both and turning
Purple. What's that one Halsey song? You were blue, I'm red. Together we're purple.
Together we took the purple pill. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Have you taken the purple pill today? I'm just thinking about a guy who's like, red pill? I take those every day. Blue pill? I don't have that prescription.
He calls his pharmacist and he's like, hey.
Right, do you have any black pills in stock?
Is there something after black pill? Because I know black pill is like incel.
Right, beyond hope, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know how like alpha males were the big thing, and then they were like, uh-oh, sigma males are the new thing. I'm sure we give it a few months and there'll be a pill after the black pill, because people want to, you know, be cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm on the brown pill. We went even further. We're brown pilling it.
We're brown pilling it. I'm choking on the amount of alphaness we're enduring today.
It's the fumes, I think.
I think I'd faint in there.
Yeah, I don't think I'd survive in that room for very long.
Now that's a Mr. Beast challenge. I spent 50 hours in a room with Elliott Hulse sweating.
I spent 50 hours in the Elliott Hulse garage. Take
Jimmy,
notes, Jimmy.
You might be missing out on something here.
Yeah, we found gold.
Wake the body back up, and you do it by expanding the chest open.
I don't like that we can see this much into his mouth and nose.
He is not leaving a lot to the imagination. No, it's all going on camera.
What happened to modesty, Elliot? Don't you want to be a virtuous husband?
This is looking pretty beta, actually.
Yeah.
Because he's looking for attention. I don't know.
How do you expect to find a high-value woman if you're showing your uvula like this? You can't show your uvula to just anyone.
Yeah, the veins need to come out after marriage. You know, you can't just go around flashing those.
No.
He looks great, by the way. Perfect health, you can tell.
Yeah, like he has very nice definition in his arms.
And the neck. I feel like we're not supposed to see that part of the neck.
That crispy jugular vein.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know.
Don't let this guy get a paper cut.
Right, he's a goner.
I know we poked fun at his red chest, but he is in great physical shape.
If he looked like this, but was like a nice guy, I'd be like, hey, you've obviously been, you know, hitting the gym. Good for you.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
But, you know, there's just other factors that are preventing me from venturing into that territory.
Although I would say yelling like this alone would probably feel good after a stressful
might be
week.
onto something. Like just getting into like a quiet space and, you know, maybe not letting everything out like he's advising, but getting some kind of like outburst. You know, you could get the catharsis without the bioenergy.
Or maybe they're like interconnected, and if you don't have one without the other, you're missing out on something.
That could be.
Maybe.
I'm not in enough like soundproof rooms to scream, so I wouldn't know.
You live in an apartment, right? So your landlord could just
I would get noise
out.
complaints if I was taking direct lessons from this. Yes.
I think my cats would hide for the rest of the week if I tried this, so I'm not gonna I can't traumatize the cats.
I don't think cats would respond well to this method of catharsis.
Yeah, they don't even like vacuums. So for me, screaming like a mad woman.
This is a step above vacuuming, I'd guess.
For sure. I'm curious to see, we're only 2.5 minutes in.
I know. There's so much. 2.5 minutes. What could the rest of this be?
This is such a juicy video. He's coughing like a little kid.
Breathe erratically, open the chest. This is where your heart is. This is where you love. Animals close their hearts, they hold down. Animals, as human beings, we open up the heart. We open it up and we stand up and you can see it, it's soft. It's supposed to be soft, but we make it hard.
Wow.
You dragged the animal kingdom into this. Animals have, closed off hearts, but humans were meant to love.
Yeah.
Because humans are,
We're social
not
species.
animals.
I like how he's talking about softness and he's just raking at his already super red chest.
Yeah, he was beating that thing kind of hard. I don't know if you'd want to do that.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the thing gorillas do. He's doing an animal thing right there.
Yeah, he's...
Doesn't that immediately contradict what he was saying? I mean, not to
Are you
zone in on
questioning
minor
Elliott
points.
Hulse right now?
You're right, I'm sorry.
The most sane, level-headed alpha male.
Both Elliott and Anna, I need your apology. Oh, no, wait, I need to apologize. I need both of your apologies, actually, because I was never meant to see this.
No one was meant to see this. If anything, I am meant to apologize to you because on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, I'm just forcing you to listen to this very buff man saying very strange things and screaming at the top of his lungs. I hope this is soundproof. Like, is he in a building occupied by other people right now?
I mean, it looks like a pretty industrial building.
Like, are there people working in the office next door that are just like...
Do you hear screaming? Like, is that one of us? What's happening?
Is someone
getting
banging
murdered?
on the walls? Yeah.
Exactly. That was a lot of heavy breathing he was doing right there for a minute.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried that would be the rest of the video. I wasn't sure when he was going to have enough. Mm-hmm. And you're right, he was coughing like a little kid, like a little tongue out a little bit. Like,
Like that one cat meme.
spot the difference.
This is the cat now. Feel old yet?
God, I would feel elderly knowing that the cat has turned into this.
That cat's gym routine is clearly paying off.
Yeah, I think cats are supposed to look that red.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just picturing like a red-pilled cat.
Cat-pilled. I'm cat-pilled.
You know what? Cut that. Then your editor has to design a red-pilled cat image. Don't do that. That's extra work.
All right, Nicole, ignore that bit, please.
Hi, Nicole. Nice to meet you. No buff cat image, please. Because then it'll haunt me. And I don't like that. You know what? Let's hear him out. What else does he have?
For sure.
We make the belly hard, but you've got to soften it so that your heart can open up, so that your sex can open up, so that your expression can open up. So you've got to breathe. Big breathing, big body breathing into your balls.
Duncan, are you breathing into your balls?
I didn't know how to do that. Can Elliott like walk us through how exactly those connect? Like, yeah,
How to breathe into your balls 101.
I don't know how to flex that muscle. I don't know what he's talking about.
Are there lungs in the testicles that
Not
we don't
that
know
I've
about?
found. I can't speak for everybody, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I didn't get the memo. I'm going to go to the gym in order to connect my lungs to my balls, because what else are you going to do at the gym?
That's a sight
What
to
machine
see.
do you use to connect your lungs to the balls? I don't know.
The ball and lung machine. You've never seen that at your gym?
I actually can't picture what we're talking about. I don't know what that would look. What equipment would that look like?
That would be painful for anyone who has balls.
Honestly, you know what? I would opt out.
Leave your balls alone.
When you go to the gym, leave your balls at home.
Leave them in your locker, but the gym isn't responsible for any stolen property, so
Any
bring a
stolen
lock.
balls, you cannot trace that back to the gym.
Put an Apple AirTag in your balls today.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, you'd lose track of them. There's two.
Or like one of those tile keychains. Microchip your balls.
If balls were detachable, I would have lost them on like week 2. You know.
They didn't stand a chance.
I hate picturing this because, I would need the AirTag. I'm a forgetful
If someone
guy.
finds Duncan's balls, please call 1-800.
Imagine you leave the house and you do the pat down I left my balls at home. God damn it. How am I going to do this big presentation at work without my balls?
See, this is why I'm happy I'm assigned a female at birth.
You don't even have to worry about the balls.
Everything's on the inside. I have no risk of losing.
We betas, and our balls, we're always trying to keep track of them.
See, alphas know where their balls are. Betas do not.
I think that's the most important distinction we can take from this. Yeah, and alphas always got their balls in view.
That's a sight I do not want to see.
4 minutes of ball jokes. Oh my god.
There's going to be a compilation on YouTube after this is posted. Annamarie and Duncan saying balls for 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Balls. I just gave him like so much material.
Ball. I can't help it. It's a funny word.
It is.
Even like not in a sexual context.
Right, because, balls is so sexual of a word.
Balls.
Ball and other ball.
Like if you like balls.
Click that ball button if you like likes. Shit.
Drop a ball down below. Give me your balls in the comments.
Just one day, I want YouTube to put in a ball button, and you just, what do? You click it. Nothing happens.
Would it be shaped like a sport ball or like a testicle ball?
Move on. We're gonna be here forever.
Enough of balls. Balls on the brain.
Balls off the court, everybody. Let's keep going.
Are you ball pilled?
I'm based in ball pilled, if nothing else. Okay, my camera just stopped recording.
Oh god. Got your balls?
Yeah, ball check. Are we good here?
Ball check.
Shake your balls. To get the breath down lower, shake your balls.
Shake your balls, Duncan.
I'm like writing notes.
Feel your balls shaking. Feel your balls shaking.
Are your balls shaking, Duncan?
Everyone stop yelling.
Breathe and shake. Breathe and vibrate. Breathe and vibrate. Breathe and vibrate. That word vibrate. That vibrate. Vibrant! They like to say fucking vibrant. They like to say vibrant on TV.
Who's they?
Vibrant in commercials where they sell you pills. But the people in the commercials don't vibrate. They're stiff.
Are you vibrating your balls?
I can say without a shadow of a doubt that currently, no, I am not vibrating my balls.
Are we talking about your balls too much, by the way? Shall we stop?
No, I keep it going.
Okay, perf.
I don't talk enough about my balls on camera, The actors are stiff on commercials. It's because they're actors.
Like, and it's
they
also
always
a
say
commercial.
Actor portrayal. So, I don't think, I think you're going after the wrong guy there, Elliot.
Yeah, I don't know how people in medicine commercials are supposed to do that. Also, there aren't medicine commercials in other countries.
Really?
It's like a United States thing.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
The question of the video is, why?
Why?
Why we do that? Call to action for the United States government. Free healthcare, please.
Vibrate your balls and please give us free healthcare.
Not in that order necessarily, but both would be nice.
Yeah.
Man, he's really coming down on that whole balls thing. He really wants people to be shaking him.
Imagine going to the endocrinologist and telling the doctor that your balls have been vibrating. What would they do?
Doctor, I've been vibrating my balls every day and I don't feel any better. The doctor's like, okay, there's a lot to cover there. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had a doctor tell me that those should be vibrated daily.
I wouldn't imagine.
Only just once every 4 days is the recommended amount from a healthcare professional, which I am not. What if I'm just I went to med school. Everyone, go vibrate your balls as soon as you can.
Sparingly, though. You don't want to overwork the testicles.
Do not over vibrate your balls.
Yeah.
If I could leave you with one message, I've not ever talked about balls as much in my life.
I'm so happy I could be with you while you do that today.
Truly, we are reshaping my future.
I feel like our friendship has been more strengthened with discussing
we skipped
balls.
all the way ahead to the conversational topic of balls.
We have.
As every friendship does. This is a completely normal
rite of passage.
There's so much growth happening.
Crossing a threshold. And that threshold is made of balls.
I would not cross that threshold.
I'm just thinking of those those arc of balloons that they have at festivals and parties and stuff. That is just testicles. And that's what we're crossing today into a beautiful,
somehow
deeper
I knew
friendship.
That's where you were going with it, but I still wanted to be wrong. So I kept listening and here we are.
I don't think before I speak.
I think Elliot might have that in common with you.
Maybe that's why we're connecting so much on balls today.
You found a topic you're both interested in and the conversation's flowing.
Flowing right out of the balls. Trigger warning, ball content. We should probably include that at the beginning.
It was not our intention to talk this much about balls, but the
No.
day's kind of gone that direction.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who's watching. Maybe people
There's
were
just one
dying
viewer
for
who's
ball
like,
content.
finally they're talking about balls.
Thank God.
Merry Sinmas, everybody.
Merry
We're talking
Ballmas.
about balls. Nothing more festive, truly.
Jingle balls, jimble ball, jimgle,
Jimble balls.
jimble balls.
It was predestined that we'd get here.
Full
All right.
circle.
Friendly bet. Do you think he's going to bring up balls one more time in this video?
Yes, I do
I'm going to
believe.
say no then, just
Oh.
to get a varied opinion. I think he's just going to keep moving on with whatever he's saying. I think he's done with the balls.
I mean, just because he's done with the balls, that doesn't mean we are. We're never done with balls.
That is true. That the bet does not extend to us.
I guess we'll see.
They're stuck. They're neurotic. Kick, 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 kick. Neurotic holding patterns. But you're gonna let go because they're gonna shake all the shit out. Just shake the motherfucker out. Shake it out. Shake it out.
This is me when my towels are in the laundry. I'm like, after a shower, I'm like, dang. Oh, we keep pausing it at the same time.
Wait, oh my God, so much just happened. I think Elliott broke you.
Man, I truly did not know what I was getting into today.
I heard something about towels. Do you mind elaborating on that for a second?
Yes, I couldn't help but notice that his method of shaking every part of his body kind of looked like a dog when it comes in from the rain. Mm-hmm. So it's like, when you're done with your shower and your towel's like in the laundry, just do what he's doing. That way you get bioenergetic catharsis and you get dry.
So are dogs going through bioenergetic catharsis after a bath?
I'm gonna let the dogs speak for themselves on that one. I don't want to make any assumptions. Dog assumptions,
Yeah.
You know what? Then again, he doesn't look very dry. Maybe I'm wrong about this whole thing. And he looks more glistening than when we started.
Yeah, he's only gotten sweatier.
He's got a bit of shine to him.
He's glowing.
He looks radiant.
Beauty gurus wish they could have his highlight.
I have not really been convinced by anything said in this video so far. I think it's healthy to be active sometimes. Other than that, I'm not really picking up what he's putting down.
This seems like it could be helpful, like exerting your negative energy so you can bring in positive energy. But like we said earlier, I don't think this should have been filmed, or at least put on the internet.
I think this should have been either written down or just scrapped.
Or even saved it on like a private like flash drive.
Nowhere where anyone could find it.
Yeah.
To all of the sinners watching, don't film yourself like this. If you're gonna learn anything from this video, don't do what he say.
Yeah, I would not take his advice on this.
Well, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We still have a couple minutes left. He could bring it back.
He could.
If this ends with him being like, psych, happy April Fools, then,
Like he just becomes like completely level-headed and he's like, well, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel.
You hear like a cut behind him and then he like drops the whole thing. He's just a paid actor.
He faints because he exerted so much energy.
Like a team of people go to catch him. What a character study.
He's method acting.
I wouldn't be surprised because, this doesn't seem real.
This feels like a bit gone too far.
It seems like he's fully committed to the bit and it's not working out for anybody.
Normally I would condone that, encourage that, but we've gone through the 5 stages of grief in this very short video.
I say commit to the bit pending. If it's a good bit, go for it. My eyes hurt from watching
Oh,
this.
Duncan, I'm so sorry.
No, are you kidding? I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. I'm right where I belong, I think.
Hearing about Elliott's sex and sexual energy and balls and anger and depression and
I'm becoming more alpha by the minute, I'm sure.
your muscles have gotten 2 times bigger since we started.
Thank you for noticing.
Oh, you're
Wow, these are
welcome.
spaghetti noodles. It's working, Elliott. What else has he got?
You wanna do? Go in your room like me. Go where there's no one else and shake your shit. Shake your shit. Shake your balls. Breathe.
He did it! He mentioned balls again!
I caught that. I lose. Shame on me for thinking we were past all the ball talk.
We are not escaping the ball talk today, Duncan.
You remember in like elementary school, your teacher would be like, after an essay, like, just everyone get up and shake your hands, get all the cramps out. He's just taking that and like adding in way too much energy. He's like, not only should you shake your hands, you should go into a room alone and shake your balls.
Yeah, like after like the SAT, like the moderator's like, okay, you can get up, stretch, shake your hands. And then he's just like, ah! in the corner.
I mean, it does look like he's in a gym where like an SAT would take place. Like there could be like 80 students behind him all on those little desks.
He just rips his shirt off.
They're like, we got the wrong moderator for this test. He's filming a YouTube video.
Elliott, we're gonna have you complete the test in a different room. So sweetie, just get your things. You're scaring the other students.
It just feels misguided, right? Like, sure, like getting up all that pent up energy is good hypothetically, but like not like this. Never like this.
Never like this. He is at a level 1,000,000 right now. I don't think I've ever had this much energy in my life.
It is wearing off on me. I feel like going to the gym and screaming.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be doing zoomies with my cats later tonight.
Thank you, Elliott, for fixing me and giving me the zoomies.
Bringing us back to life.
Alpha zoomies, to be crystal clear. It's when an alpha is just, too much of that man energy and they gotta sprint around at night.
Do you think he does this before bed and his wife has to take him on a walk so he settles down like a dog?
More if he did. I would like him more. If like his wife is like rubbing her foreheads and he's just jogging around the bed, just being like, "Ooh, do you feel that? I'm so energetic.
You feel that vibrate your balls, honey?" And his kids are just watching him like,
"One more walk, Elliott, and then we're done, okay?"
"All right, sweetie, put your coat on. We're gonna go outside for a little bit." Or like, how mothers, they drive their babies around in the car to relax them?
Oh my God, he would not sit still in that car.
No.
I'm at a loss for words. And the fact that there are people who are like doing this now, and like we just don't know about them, right?
Yeah.
Like, we only know about Elliott because everyone knows Elliott. And like, okay, this has been posted a long time ago. There's no way people think this way now. Wrong. Like there are people out there.
Yeah, he has a pretty big audience.
And it's gotta have worked on some people. Do you think to this day there are some people who like get alone and just scream and shake everything? And they're like, just like Elliott said all those days ago.
Maybe not at his energy, because I don't think anyone can replicate his energy, but I do think to some degree people take his advice to heart.
And that is the power of a social media influencer.
He is influencing someone for good or for better or for worse.
It's
the jury's
worse.
Still out.
It's worse.
It's worse. We feel pumped though.
Yeah, it's infectious.
Yeah.
I have just enough energy to get through the remainder oh, my brain is stopping.
It's okay.
There's 2 minutes left.
It's that bioenergetic catharsis.
It's just wringing me out like a wet towel. I'm in it, man. Let's do this.
And then ground. Deeper sounds go deeper into your body. The deeper the sound, the closer to your balls it is. The higher your sound, the higher it is in your throat, the more of a whiny son of a bitch you are. Bring the shit low. You know you're castrated when your voice is too high. Practice deep sounds. Breathe, vibrate.
The castration?
No, yeah. I don't know what he's talking about, guys. Deeper energy goes to the balls, but higher energy goes to the throat?
Yes, that is the anatomy lesson for today.
What kind of equation are we working with here?
So where does the energy start?
That's a good question. How do you intake energy if your two options are throat and balls? Elliott, you gotta like backpedal and like explain some of these like concepts because my beta brain can't really take it all in.
Just a shred of context would be so nice.
Yeah, my notes are incomplete.
We have to vibrate our balls, bring our energy down to our balls.
We got that.
Or we're castrated. And if we're up here, we're like a whiny bitch. Is that what he said?
I believe that is what he said.
Okay.
Is his dream for just everybody to be as muscular and deep voiced as he is? Does he want like a world of him?
Only if you're a man, though. He only wants every man to be an alpha.
100%, yeah.
And he wants us, women to stay in the kitchen and make sandwiches and clean and cook and clean and more cooking and...
Because men can't do that.
No.
What's alpha about taking care of a kitchen?
Alphas do this. They don't help their wives. They scream in the middle of a warehouse.
I don't know. I think it's pretty alpha to help out your loved ones. And I see beta behavior here because he's just alone in a warehouse. Where's your family values?
Just showing off your uvula like this? talking about balls. Like, come on, dude.
You gotta cover up that uvula and quit the ball talk, man. Seriously.
That uvula is distracting. Like, I can't think about anything else other than Elliott's uvula.
He does keep showing it, so I don't blame you.
Cover it up. Modesty.
Modesty includes the uvula.
For sure. We have another minute and a half of this. What else could he possibly say?
He's probably gonna say balls again.
Another friendly bet. How many more times do you think he's gonna bring up balls?
In a minute and a half. I'm gonna say 2 more times.
Okay. I'm gonna say 1 time. I feel like he's gonna focus on the bioenergetic part.
Oh, that's right. It's all been leading up to this.
The moment we've been waiting for. Let's see.
Bring it home, Elliott.
And practice deep sounds. You don't have to choose to hold the depression. Let go of it and express. It's all good. You're allowed to do it. You don't have to be a good boy all the time.
First of all,
The spit.
way too close. Depth of field, man. You should give it some space between you and the lens. Second of all, can you do a retake because you spit so much? That had to be intentional, right?
The floor is just soaking wet.
How do you spit that much on accident?
He's gonna turn off the camera and just like fall back. Whoa.
He probably is, because he got all of that catharsis from his expression.
Mm-hmm.
I know I paused it right before he screamed, so I'm a little nervous about restarting the video.
Should we go back a little bit so we can get the scream
Let's.
fully?
I want the full effect, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a good boy all the time. Ha! Ha 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 ha! There are tears inside. There's laughter inside. It's all inside. It's all in your belly. Stop holding it tight. Let it go. You're allowed to let go.
I'm letting it go.
He's still going.
He's committed. Oh my god.
Be free.
Elliott said, what?
Hell yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into it.
Just a nice ending with some trap music.
Yeah, what's more alpha than ending your lecture on... Oh, wait, he didn't talk about bioenergy.
He didn't say that phrase once.
He didn't.
Not a once, not a twice.
I was expecting it to be like the grand finale, but he just never said it.
What was bioenergetic or cathartic about any of that?
Bio meaning body, energetic meaning energy, catharsis meaning release. I got that, but he never said it.
This is clickbait.
Right, that's the main problem we've identified here, is that Elliott Hulse is guilty of clickbait.
Balls aside, I feel duped.
Yeah, I can't imagine what he expected the end result of that to be. Everyone was just gonna watch that and go hell yeah, finally someone said it.
Yeah, that was normal.
Yeah, I don't feel that way, Elliott. I must have missed it.
Normal is not the right way to describe this video.
And you know what? It would be different if this was just a one-time goofy thing. We could be like, oh, haha. But he just does this for a career.
Yeah, and he's still doing it. Yeah.
To this day, he's doing this, but a little more controlled, I would say.
Yeah, now it's just a bunch of red pill anti-women stuff.
Yeah.
It almost makes me miss this content.
Oh my god, if he had become an early YouTuber character, like
Fred?
Just if he had become the next Fred, just be
I'd be in
let it all out, baby. He could have made an entire career off that. It's a missed opportunity.
Or a Trisha Paytas kind of thing. Imagine Elliott making a video do dogs have brains? I identify as a chicken nugget.
Oh my god, I need them to meet. I need the two of them to have a conversation. What do you think would come from that?
I don't know. Would they like each other?
Who's the stronger force? I can't tell.
Strong force and an immovable object.
That's it. Unstoppable force some movable object.
Yes.
What happens? Click to find out.
I want him to film a mukbang with her in her pink G-Wagon.
It's one of those guilty pleasure things, because like on paper you're like, no, don't put them in the same location. But then that little party is like, but what would happen though? What would they talk about?
My morbid curiosity is coming out right now.
Everything about this situation's morbid. I wish we didn't know who he was so we could do like a where are they now? And he's like, fine. He's just like, oh yeah, that was a little cringe video I made back then, but I'm all better now. But no, life is a little unfair. That's just who we've got, you know? He's not the hero we deserve, but he's the one we've got right now.
His cringiness has evolved in the 8 years since this was posted.
A bit of a career change in the specific avenue of cringe.
Yeah, now he wants to be taken seriously as like a red pill mentor, a red pill leader. You know, he wants to lead men to be exactly like him.
What's more alpha than leading or shaking?
Or ball vibrating.
Yeah, he talked a lot about the ball vibrating, like more than anything else. I think it was breathing and ball vibrating.
Yeah, if it was like sexual energy catharsis, that would have been a bit like a more believable title.
Right. They would have been related to each other. Yeah, I don't really know what was accomplished in this video of his.
Emotional scarring.
There we go.
A deeper
on our
friendship.
end. Yeah, I don't know how else we would have made this many ball jokes. You know,
Yeah.
he really paved the road for that.
This is the most I've ever talked about balls on my channel in my life, and probably ever again.
That's true. Yeah, I hope I don't talk about balls as much ever again.
Yeah.
I think this is my lifetime limit.
You've reached your ball quota for the 2020s.
I'm gonna have ball quota like in my brain for like a month. And be like, have I met my ball quota today? It's just some little phrases you can't escape.
Everyone's gonna spam the comments with ball and balls now.
I'm gonna go to the comments being like, oh, I hope they're saying that Duncan was a good guest. Like Mary Sinmas. And it's just gonna be
Yeah.
balls.
Balls.
I have to scroll through so many balls just to hear one constructive comment.
I talked about hole with Chad in our collab, and now we're talking about balls.
We've come full circle, baby. Holes
Pretty
and
soon we're going to
balls.
cover all of the reproductive anatomy.
I think that's just how Sinmas was meant to go.
Unfortunately.
For better or worse, you know.
That's still up for debate.
It's not us to say.
Oh, my light.
Oh.
That's homophobic. That's ball-phobic.
Oh, my camera just stopped.
Oh, no.
Everything's shutting down.
This was a time.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Time passed,
Very quickly.
and we experienced it together.
I'm glad I was able to experience it with you more than anyone else.
Thank you.
Considering that you know about Elliott's history.
Exactly, right. I went into it with at least a little bit of preparation.
Yes,
If this was my first exposure to him, I don't know how I'd be right now.
I would agree.
What a guy.
What a guy. He certainly is a guy, isn't he? Huh?
He's taught me so much over the years. Just a wealth of knowledge. Mm-hmm. None of it good.
No, never. I can't say I'm the same person I was when I started this video.
A change has happened.
When I clicked record, that was a whole different person.
And now here we are in this brave new world. The new Anna, the new Duncan, with this experience behind us. And we can never go back.
No, this is it. We're stuck.
No matter how much we scream, this has happened.
Do you feel like he cured your depression today?
You know what? I think he's given me a few healthy tips. Whenever I'm feeling down on myself, you know, I'm gonna follow my man Elliott's advice and just shake those balls. Cause what else are you supposed to learn from that video? That's like the one piece of advice he gives you.
Shake your balls.
And you know what? I'm sure with a shake of the balls, the depression will be gone.
Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to participate, but I do support you on your ball shaking journey.
I appreciate that. I will go with your blessing.
Of course. Thank you very much. But for the sinners, the ballers at home, where could they find you?
The ballers at home.
That's your new fandom name. Instead of Kunk Nation.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, ballers, welcome to I can't even say it. It would never happen. I'm not built for the ballers.
But where could people at home find you?
Well, if you look up Kuncan Dastner on YouTube, you can find non-ball related content. Sorry to disappoint. I haven't represented myself very well here. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna go see the ball guys videos. There's nothing like that here. At Kuncan Dastner wherever, and you can find me. Find me there if you want. Natural plug.
What you do lack in balls on your channel, you do gain or have in very high quality and well thought out video essays.
Thank you. You can expect your usual video essay stuff, just no balls.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
No testicle content.
Don't come to my channel expecting balls. You won't find it.
Maybe in the new year, but as of right now, no balls.
New year, new balls.
And please do not anticipate any ball content from me anytime soon. I think
This was a one-time thing.
we've reached our ball quota for life, actually. Ooh.
It happened.
It happened. My lamp almost fell, but I caught her just in time.
You were here, audience, for the lamp falling.
You almost witnessed me getting crushed. Well, actually, my lamp is kind of shaped like a ball. Like the umbrella is like a bulbous shape. What a poetic way to end the video.
Yeah, there you go. We've come full ball. No, that's not what I meant. Oh, damn it.
Jesus Christ, Duncan.
Speaking of digital footprint, my God.
Any future employer we have, if YouTube doesn't work out, is just going to be like,
Now, you're
balls,
a great
huh?
fit for the company, but like, what's with the ball talk, man?
Would you elaborate on your ball experience?
Yeah, we're looking for someone with 4+ years of ball experience. Do you fit that quota? I can never say the word ball again because I'm going to think about this and just start laughing.
Thank you for being so vulnerable about you and your balls on my
Thank you.
channel
Yeah,
today.
it took a lot of bravery for me to be here today, so I appreciate that. I've been a very brave boy talking about my balls.
You're a brave boy, Duncan.
This is a safe space for ball talk. Thank you for letting me feel
Of course.
like I can talk about.
I think I broke Duncan.
I'm gonna just stare at a wall for the rest of the day and be like, why did I do that?
You're just in your room with the lights off, staring at the ceiling.
Nothing's shaking. It's just all contemplation.
And then the shaking comes after
Well, of
to get
course,
out of that
right.
depression. Thank you for being on the channel today. I've loved your content for so long. I'm so glad to call you a friend. And
Thank you. I'm so happy I got to be here.
I'm so glad we finally made this happen.
This was a long time coming. I couldn't picture this going another way. So thank you.
It was just as unhinged and wholesome as I always wanted it to be.
We struck that perfect balance.
Thank you also to the sinners at home for watching day 6 of the 12 days of Sinmas. If you like this video, make sure to give it a tiny thumbs up and subscribe with your balls in the comments.
How do you subscribe with balls?
That's something for the folks at home to figure out.
Yeah, interpret
That's
it
out of
as
our
you
hands.
will. We're not even going near there. No, we've hit the quota.
Yeah, we've hit the ball quota. It's up to you. The ball's in your court now.
That's
I just have
Bye.
balls on the brain right now.
balls. I mean, goodbye.
We love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 7 of Sinmas. Bye.